Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Sorry we got delayed today. Somehow
हरे
the
कृष्णा प्रभु
room
जी, दंडवत प्रणाम।
Dhanvad. Sorry we got delayed because the rooms today due to festivals were occupied. Somehow we could manage with this hall. So I hope you all are able to hear.
यस प्रभु जी।
प्रभु जी।
Okay. Hari Bol. मम ज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्तांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome all the devotees. Today we are at chapter 6. We have covered the first 15 chapters, the first 15 verses of chapter 6. Today we will covering the next 17 verses. So we'll start by repeating the verses from verse number 16. Please repeat after me. नात्यश्नतस्तु योगो अस्ति नैचैकान्तम् अनश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्तचेतस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः यदा विनियतं चित्तम् आत्मन्येवावतिष्ठते निःस्पृहः सर्वकामेभ्यो युक्त इति उच्यते तदा यथा दीपो निवातस्थो नेङ्गते सोपमा स्मृता योगिनो यत चित्तस्य युञ्जन्तो योगमात्मनः। यत्रो प्रमते चित्तम् निरुद्धं योगसेवया यत्र चैवात्मनात्मानं पश्यन्नात्मनि तुष्यति सुखम् आत्यन्तिकं यत्तद् बुद्धिग्राह्यम् अतीन्द्रियम् वेत्ति यत्र न चैवायम् स्थितश्चलति तत्त्वतः यं लब्ध्वा चापरं लाभं मन्यते नाधिकं ततः यस्मिन् स्थितो न दुःखेन गुरुणापि विचालये तं विद्या दुःखसंयोगा योगं योगसंज्ञितम् स निश्चयेन युक्तव्यो योगो अनिर्विण्ण चेतसा संकल्प प्रभवान् कामान् त्यक्त्वा सर्वान् अशेषतः मनसैवेन्द्रियग्रामम् विनियम्य समन्ततः शनैः शनैः उपरमेत् बुद्ध्या धृतगृहीतया आत्मसंस्थं मनः कृत्वा न किञ्चिदपि चिन्तयेत् यतो यतो निश्चलति मनस् चञ्चलम् अस्थिरम् ततस्ततो नियम्येत आत्मन्येव वशं नयेत् प्रशान्तमनसं येनं योगिनं सुखमुत्तमम् उपैति शान्तरजसं ब्रह्मभूतम् अकल्मषम् युञ्जन्नेव सदात्मानं योगी विगतकल्मषः सुखेन ब्रह्म संस्पर्शम् अत्यन्तं सुखमश्नुते सर्वभूतस्थमात्मानं सर्वभूतानि चात्मनि ईक्षते योगयुक्तात्मा सर्वत्र समदर्शनः यो मां पश्यति सर्वत्र सर्वं च मयि पश्यति तस्याहं न प्रणश्यामि स च मे न प्रणश्यति सर्वभूतस्थितं यो मां भजति एकात्मम् आस्थितः सर्वथा वर्तमानोऽपि स योगी मयि वर्तते आत्मौपमन्येन सर्वत्र समं पश्यति योऽर्जुन सुखं वा यदि वा दुःखं स योगी परमो मतः हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we are at chapter 6. We have covered first 15 verses. Just to start with, chapter 6 deals mainly with the Dhyana Yoga. It's also known as the Patanjali Yoga system. Entire first 6 chapter talks about the Karma Yoga. Middle 6 chapter talks about Bhakti Yoga, and last 6 chapter talks about Dhyana Yoga. So first 6 chapter Karma Yoga, Krishna starts with the arranging the army in the battlefield in the first chapter. The second chapter, it summarizes the entire Bhagavad Gita, because there it is spoken about the Sankhya Yoga, which is Jnana Yoga. And then it talks about Karma Kand. If you fight, what you will get. If you don't fight, what you will not get. Then it talks about the Buddhi Yoga, right? Which is again Krishna conscious activity, also called as Nishkam Karma Yoga. And at the end, again, Jnana Yoga, big spoken. So entire Bhagavad Gita is summarized in the second chapter. Third, fourth, and fifth talks mainly about the Nishkam Karma Yoga, which deals with working without attachment to the result, without proprietorship to the or possessiveness to anything. Then then the sixth chapter it talks about the Dhyana Yoga. So in this first two verses mostly glorified about the Nishkam Karma Yoga, where it is said that Anashrita Karma Phalam Karyam Karma Karotiya Sa Sannyasi Cha Yogi Cha Na Niragnir Na Cha Akriya. Who is a sannyasi? Sannyasi Yo Na Deshti Na Kankshati. Sa Sannyasam Iti Prahur. So one who does not, if one is not attached to the result, one is unattached to the fruits of his work, he is a sannyasi, not the one who is begging. And while begging, he does not have to fire any agni because he does not have to cook. He just begs. He is not a sannyasi. One who wears a saffron dress and does not stay at the home. So for begging, he just begs and he does not burn the fire. So generally people think he is a sannyasi, but no. One who has given the sannyas means giving up. Sannyasi means giving up. So giving up proprietorship over the results or attachment to the results. That person is a sannyasi. So here. And then see, anashrita karma phalam, not taking shelter of the ashraya of the karma phala. Right? Karyam karma karotiya. So one who is doing the karya, karma, nishkam karma, without attachment. One who does that activity, sa sannyasi cha yogi cha. He is a sannyasi, he is a yogi. Na niragni na cha akriyaha. So this is Nishkam Karma Yoga being glorified in the first two verses. Sa sannyasam iti praho yogam tad vidhi pandava nahi asanyasta sankalpo yogi bhavati kaschana. Nahi asanyasta sankalpo. Sankalpo, desire. Sankalpa kiya hai that I will complete this yajna, sacrifice. That is a sankalp, right? Somebody desires. I'll do this. That's a desire. So asanyasta sankalpo. One who has not given up the sankalpa, desire. Yogi bhavati kasya. He cannot be a yogi. So yam sannyasam iti praho. What is sannyas? That is jnana yoga. That is also a yoga. Also achieves that. Nishkam karma yoga also achieves that. Why? Because by Nishkam karma yoga one purifies the mind, then moves ahead. And sannyas or a jnana yogi, he takes sannyas. But after what? After being purified. But there is no guarantee that one has purified. What if one who thinks that he has been purified again gets attached or diversion of mind happens? At that time, he has already left the work which is purifying. Nishkam karma yoga, that is detached work, he has already left, thinking he has got purified. Right? And he takes to the process of jnana yoga, focusing on the subject matter of impersonal yoga system, the knowledge about impersonalism. At that time, if some impurity comes, then what will that person do? So therefore, Nishkam Karma Yoga is better. Right? So therefore, whatever Nishkam Karma Yoga achieves, Sannyasam, Jnana Yoga also achieves. The goal is the one. So one who knows that is proper. Then third verse talks about Arurukshur Muner Yogam Karma Karanam Uchyate Yoga Arudasya Yodarugasya Tasyeva Sama Karanam Uchyate. So if somebody may say, fine, then therefore it is recommended to do Nishkam Karma Yoga. Why? Because after leaving the work, after taking sannyas, one who completely focuses on in knowledge about impersonalism. So then how long he should continue working? Because working also acts as an obstacle. One has to focus on work with detachment, but one has to. So what if one has? So when will one get purified? After purification, he should not leave, or one should continue through lifetime. That may be the question asked, right? Will one continue lifetime of working only without attachment, or one should at the end leave everything, right, and focus completely on something? So therefore this verse answers Aruruksha Muner Yogam Karma Karan Uchate. So Aruruksha means one who is Arudana, one who is climbing. घोड़े के ऊपर आरूढ़ होके सवार कर रहे हैं. After climbing on the horse, one is running. Arud, okay. So one who is climbing, one who is starting the process of yoga system, for him, karma karanam uchyate. For him, working, nishkam karma yoga is a karana, is a means. Right? Because he will get purified. Yoga arudasya tasya. Yoga aruda, one who has already climbed, one who has already been purified. Samam karanam uchyate. Samaha, living the work. Why? Because that work will become obstacle. So that person can leave the world. For whom? Yoga Aruda. For Yoga Arurukshu, karma, working is recommended. For Yoga Aruda, that is the higher stages of this Ashtanga Yoga. For him, leaving the work is recommended. Right? This word tells about. Then verse 4. Yadana indriya artheshu na karmashu anusajjate sarva sankalpa sannyasi yogarudastad uchyate. Yogarudasam. So when will one come to know whether one has yoga aruda? One has achieved that yoga aruda stage. How will one know? So this verse describes the symptom which defined the yoga aruda. That is the later stage, higher stages. What is that? Yada hi na indriya artheshu na karmasu anusajjate. The person who is not attached to the sense object. Indriya artheshu anusajjate. One is not attached. Or to the actions to attain them. Having renounced all the desires. Sarva sankalpa sannyasi. Sarva sankalpa, desires. Sannyasi, one who has given up. Renounced all the desires. He is called Yogaruda. Yogaruda tat puchyate. That person is called Yogaruda. Then verse 4. Uddharet atmanam atmanam na atmanam eva avasadhayet atmeva hi atmano bandhur atmeva ripur atmana. So this verse speaks about the reason for detachment from the sense object. Why one should be detached from the sense object? Because mind dwelling on the sense object can take one down. It's a enemy. And if controlled, it's the best of the friend. So that's how the verse 5 talks about. And then Samyas, that mind is friend to which kind of person? And an enemy, which type of person? The verse 6 says, Bandhur atmana atmanas tasya yenatmaneva atmana jitaha. One who has controlled his mind to senses, that person, mind is a friend. And one who has not, for him, mind is an enemy. Verse 7 says, Jitatmanah prashantasya param atma samahita shita ushna sukha dukkeshu tata manapamanayo. So the three verses, 7, 8, 9, now speak of the favorable conditions for beginning the yoga practice. Which are the conditions? For a person who has conquered the mind in all direction of heat and cold, happiness and distress, honor and dishonor, and is devoid of all attraction and repulsion, the self becomes situated in samadhi. Verse 8 and 9 then talks about Jnana Vijnana Tirthatma Kutasto Vijitendriya Yukta iti Uchate Yogi Samalostrasma Kanchana. He who is situated a person is said to be established in self-realization and is called a yogi when he is fully satisfied by the virtue of acquired knowledge and realization. Such a person is situated in the transcendence and is self-controlled. He sees everything, whether it's a pebble, stone, or a gold, as the same. Why? Because he's seeing the Atma. For him, everything is the same. It's of no value. Because his focus is on what? Atma. So the person should be satisfied with the knowledge from the scriptures. For him, the gold and the pebble is of no value. Because his focus is on Atma. Then verse 9 says, Suhuran mitrari udasina madhyastha dveshya bandhushu sadhushu apicha papeshu samabuddhir vishishyate. There's something vishishyate. Vishish means greater than the person who is previously saying the gold and the stone on the same line. Because gold and the stone are the objects, na? They are not reciprocating. But if somebody is talking nice word, oh, you are so nice, and somebody is telling rascal or something, it's natural, we do dvesh to such person and rag to that person. Na? So, if some person who sees both of them, one who is glorifying and one who is saying the bad things equally, and who sees both of them equally, that person is better. He who sees the neutral well-wisher, the friend, the envious person, the neutral person, the meditator, the enemy, the relative, a pious person, and the singer and sinner, as the say, is superior. Then verse 10. योगी युञ्जित सततम् आत्मानं रहसि स्थित एकाकी यद चित्तात्मा निराशीर अपरिग्रह. So from verse 10 till the verse we are going to cover today, that is, how many verses we have read it? Till 32. So from verse 10 till verse 32, the Lord now teaches the process of yoga. Teaches the process of yoga with its anga. With all its angas, the Lord will speak. So, yogi yunjita satatam atmanam rahasi stitah ekaki yat chittatma nirashit aparigraha. The practitioner living in a solitude place. So, rahasi stita, which kind of place he should stay? Sitting in a place without people or disturbing sounds. Rahasi, ekaki, in a solitary place. Rahasi sthita, ekaki, yata chittatma. And then his body and mind devoid of the activities unfavorable to the yoga. Yata chittatmana. Aparigraha, he should be devoid of the any desire to accumulate. Such should be the situation of the yogi who is going to practice this yoga system. Then, verse number 10 and 11. No, not 10 and 11. Verse number 11 and 12. It talks about the sitting place. What should be the sitting place of a yogi? So it says that Sucho Deshe Pratisthapya Sthiram Asanam Atmana Na Ati Uchitam Na Ati Nicham Chalinjana Chailanjina Kushottaram Tatrikagram Manakritva Yata Chittendriya Kriya Upavishyasane Yunjyat Yogam Atma Vishuddhaye. Atma Vishuddhaye, for the purification of the mind. So, yes. Lifelong, till end, till Samadhi. No, that this is for yogi. This is for Ashtanga yogi. So Ashtanga yogi can't be practiced by Grihasthas. Or people who staying in the city like Mumbai. Nobody can practice because one has to be free from the sound. It's so much disturbance. How much we have to struggle. Time goes in saying no. You see, fighting. Time goes in that. So much struggle. You see, finding out the place. We are hoping, So energy goes in that. Actually, energy should go in focusing, right? If you have a nice place to sit and focus, you need a space. But energy goes in saying no, in struggling, in finding, accumulating. So one cannot practice with such a state of mind. This yoga, eightfold system, yoga system, it demands a solitary place. Therefore, Sthitam, 2 verses dedicated. What should be the place? So it says, Sucho Deshe, clean. One should go to the secluded places and should lay the kusha grass, asanam, pure place, naturally pure place, naturally pure, not full with marbles and then clean. No, naturally pure places, such as the bench on the pure bank of Ganga or on a mountain cave and in a place cleaned by himself. So such natural place. The asana should be stable. Pradistapya sthiram. It should be stable. Asanam atmana. Nati uchyam uchitam nati nicham. It should not be on the higher, not lower. Chailanjina. Chaila. It should be soft cloth and a soft deer skin. Ajina. Soft deer skin. It should cover that. Uttaram. This asana is for one's own use only. Atmana. It should not be like for somebody else. Like somebody else's asana, then there it is forbidden to use another person's asana. See, because this is unfavorable for the yoga practice. Why? Uncertainty of another person's consent to use his seat, which is barred in another person's seat, and that person's consent is not there. So it's quite disturbing, right? That you have taken some other's row, and you are always thinking, oh, somebody may claim, come. You see, so you cannot focus. But if you have allotted your own place, then it's nobody is going to come. But if you are occupying some other space, you are always there in mindset, like, oh, they may come anytime, they may ask. So nobody else, your own place. Because lifelong one will be practicing, so you should have his own place. And then one should sit rather than stand or lie down on that asana. Since Vedanta says asina sambhavad, one should sit because then meditation is possible. Having restrained the activity of mind and the senses, making his mind free of disturbance, he should practice concentration on samadhi. This is for purification. So like this, we saw that 11th and 12th verse. And then 13th and 14th verse. These verses describe how to hold the body while sitting. How to hold the body while sitting on the asana. It says, samam kaya siro grivam. So kaya, the body, no, the top portion of the body is kaya. Samo kaya, what is that? Shira and grivam, neck and head, straight. So the top portion of the body should be straight. Samo kaya shiro grivam, dharayan achala sthiraha, achala striharaha. Achala, so motionless, having firm determination, sthira. Sampreksha nasikagram, so on the point of the nasika or between the eyebrows. Focus should be on tip of the nasika or between the eyebrows. So such should be the focus. Gazing at the tip of the nose without looking in other direction. Swam dishas chavana lokayan. Then prashant atma vigata bahir. Bhir, vigata bhir. Bhir means bhai. Prashanta, with a peaceful mind. Fearless. Vigata bhi. Brahmachari vrate sthita and celibacy. He should sit, withdrawing his senses from the sense object. While meditating, manaha swayam mat chitta. That's the point. People are doing this yoga system. Asan, pranayam, they are doing dhyan, right? So dhyan of what? Mat chitta, yukta asita mat para. This is the important point here. Mat chitta, concentrate on whom? Krishna. Mat chitta. Yukta asita mat para. His para, his goal should be what? Again, Krishna. That should be the goal. It should not be something else. Like the people who are performing the yoga system, for them, what is the thing? Liberation or good health? That is not the case. The Prabhupada takes this point and hits. See what he's telling? If you see, he says that the goal of the life is to know Krishna, who is situated within the heart of every living being as a Paramatma. So now when Krishna says Mat Chitta, so within the heart as a Paramatma, that is the goal of the Ashtanga Yoga. Krishna in the form of a Paramatma, right? That should be the goal. So the goal of the life is to know Krishna is situated within the heart of every living entity as Paramatma, the four-handed Vishnu form. The yoga process is practice in order to discover and see this localized form of Vishnu and not for any other purpose. Not for any other purpose. The localized Vishnu Murti is the plenary representation of Krishna dwelling within one's heart. One who has no program to realize this Vishnu Murti is uselessly engaged in mock yoga practice and certainly wasting his time. Krishna is the ultimate goal of life, and Vishnu Murti situated in one's heart is the object of yoga practice. To realize Vishnu Murti within the heart, one has to observe complete abstinence from sex life. Now Prabhupada directly goes to Brahmachari Vrate Stitaha. See now how he's focusing. In US, see in US, right? He knows people who are they're practicing yoga and all, right? And their goal is maybe health or peace. So he's telling, see, Krishna is the goal, Paramatma is the goal. And then he also knows that these people are not situated in brahmacharya. They are not controlling his senses. So he's now in the abstinence, complete abstinence from the sex life. Therefore, one has to leave home and live alone in a secluded place, remaining seated as mentioned above. Yes. Uh, came back very fast. Well, we have to find experience. See that we going to leave the house, say the phone. Then I will go there. I cannot go there. Sign what we have found. Being at home. This story one side is not I have not heard this story, and even in the story it applies to Buddha, such a personality, you know. Even if the story applies, it applies to the Buddha for general people, and this is for everyone, right? And exceptions you'll always get, but this is generally for the this eightfold yoga system. It's meant for everyone. One has to live. Even he left and then realized. And this is not possible even for the Kali Yuga people. This is not possible. In the forest also, where you will find all. Forest, no, that is necessary. That is necessary. One can't practice this at home. See, in home means he will have to eat something, na? He'll have to cook, he'll have to earn. There, he'll get fruits and all. Here, he'll have to cook and all. He'll have to go out, mingle with the people. And no place is a pleasant place. See, during the Ganesh Chaturthi, Navratra, so much noise. Even in Vrindavan. When we say go to Vrindavan, so which place of Vrindavan? The city now. Yogi can't practice. Yogi means Ashtanga Yogi. Bhakti Yogi is absorbed in his bhajan. Get up, chant, be at home. Go in the morning. What do the devotees do? They go very early morning, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock to Mangal Aarti. Then by 9, done. They are at back home. And all chalpal is going on in city, Vrindavan. They are done with their day. They are reading, doing bhajan, and then sleep early, and then morning again their day starts. That is Bhakti Yogi. But a person who wants to practice Ashtanga Yogi, he cannot remain there. He has to go to the very secluded place. No disturbance, natural, scenic, natural place. Which is the focus on the Atma. So therefore in Kali Yuga it's not recommended. Because nobody can do it actually. So no one can perform correct yoga practice through sex indulgence. Brahmacharya is taught therefore from childhood when one has no knowledge of sex life. Children at the age of 5 are sent to Gurukul or the place of the spiritual master, and the master trains the young boys in the strict discipline of becoming a brahmacharis. Without such practice, no one can make advancement in any yoga. In any yoga, Prabhupada is adding in any yoga. Whether it's Dhyan Yoga, Jnana Yoga or Bhakti Yoga. Because controlling the senses, if the senses are not controlled, then the mind will just disturb. It will go here and there. One will not be able to focus even on chanting, on serving. So here, abstinence is there in yoga system. One has to also leave the home, go to the forest. But this Prabhupada is adding that it has to be done even in Dhyana, Jnana or Bhakti Yoga. One who, however, follows the rules and regulations of married life. See, now he's bringing to the Bhakti Yoga's benefit. If somebody is married then, so he's telling that one who, however, follows the rules and regulations of married life, having a sexual relationship only with his wife, and that also under regulation, is also called a brahmachari. Such a restrained householder brahmachari may be accepted in the bhakti school, but the jnana and the dhyana school do not even admit householder brahmacharis. Jnana and the dhyana, because in the dhyana yoga, this verse is mentioning go to the secluded place in the forest, right? And Jnana Yoga is talking about one has to take sannyas. One has to start from sannyas. Means Nishkam Karma Yoga is done. Mind is purified. Directly take sannyas, renounce and leave. So Brahmachari means yes, the person cannot take that process. And Dhyana Yoga, and this Dhyana Yoga, it's not meant for them. So Bhakti Yoga is the one. And in that also restraining from the sex life. For married people, it's regulated. And then regulated in the restrained way. Only then one can practice. Therefore, we saw that yajna, different kind of yajna. For brahmachari, it is a controlling the senses in the fire of sense object. No? And for grihastha, using the sense object in the fire of controlled senses. Isn't it so?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, so this Ashtanga Yoga somehow we are implementing while we are chanting Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. For example, the body has to be it has to be erect. Neck and head has to be straight, and we have to be motionless, firm, and steadily we have to chant Hare Krishna. That will give more effect if we chant in this way. Otherwise,
Yeah.
what happens, your lordships, as well as in the Brahma Muhurat, if we get up and we try
Prabhu,
if I try to
tell
chant,
security to on the AC and turn off the fan. Thank you.
if I try to chant, if I am reclined if I sit in the such a posture which if I recline, I get sleep, and I am not able to chant effectively. But I am seeing it in positive way, that if I implement this Ashtanga Yoga, this some portion of it, by keeping my posture straight, neck straight, motionless, keeping eyes closed steadily, then whether it will create impact on while chanting, whether I'll be able to concentrate more effectively.
Yes. So the question is, he's telling while chanting, when we sit, if we practice some of the uh, angas of this Ashtanga Yoga, like keeping straight, right? And then in a secluded place, means without any disturbance, then will it help? Natural, na? It will help, right? So we are practicing some of the angas, like sleep early, get up early, mind is fresh, right? Early morning, so the atmosphere is pleasant, full of oxygen, right? In the association of the devotees is possible, and sitting straight, not walking, if possible, not walking, sitting straight, and then not looking here and there because so many object of distraction, right? And then we focus on the sound vibration. Nothing like that. It helps. I try to do that. I am habituated now. Believe me, I'm telling you. Uh, In 2002, when I got connected here, I was staying in the base. And then, because being in a software field, I have to sit on the chair only. And working for long hours, so I was habituated sitting on the chair. And then when I joined the ashram, sitting down was difficult, even for 1 hour, because I would sit always on the chair in the office. Major time would go in the office. So in the ashram, sitting down was difficult for me initially. But I knew it's just a habit. So, so while chanting, how can I sit when all my seniors are sitting down? How can I sit on the chair? Right? So for that 2 hours, somehow struggling, I would just sit down. And then now my situation is such that even if I get a chair, see, now I'm sitting like this on lotus position. But because I'm thin, if I sit down completely on that, so it hits my bones. So what I do, I always carry my asana, that cushion, so that it gives me support. Otherwise, bone will touch and it will hit. When I'm situated, I only sit here down only. So then I carry my asana. So it helps. It helps to focus. Yeah. Even I spend time in doing asanas, because taking breathing, exhaling, it focus. It helps. The body is active. Early morning, if you do yoga, body feels very activated, and the focus increases. Like cold water, any water bath you take, just freshens up in the morning. It makes you fresh. And then later on, immediately after that, if you do yoga, asanas or yoga, asana, it really helps. For me, it helps. So I see to it that before chanting, I do not some long time yoga. Ah, ah. No, whatever time I see to it, I just do that and then come for side. Because it helps me. Otherwise, I feel sleepy. Anyhow, I sleep, that does not mean, but at least if I do yoga asanas and come, I feel very less sleepy. I do sleep in the chanting, but if I don't do yogasana, then I feel more sleepy. So yes, you are right, Prabhu. If you can, uh, yes, Prabhu, yes, yes, yeah. Because whole energy you are spending time chanting. So that place means you sit, you will get heated up. You're focusing, your body becomes warm. All the energy is passing through it. So if you don't keep anything ground, the ground absorbs the energy. So it should be actually uh, uh, not cotton, which kusha grass, or because why kusha grass is clean? It is coming from the hairs of the Varadev. When Varadev went, and then he came, he brought that Garbhoda ocean, and then he spelled his, because of the, went down, Garbhoda ocean. So when he just did his head like this, from hairs, this form. Go somewhere. Yeah. So what were we discussing? Yes, our on asana is good. Our on, everything should be our on. Our plate, our cloth, nobody else's cloth. Even you see sannyasis, when they sit, they keep their some kapra. Because everything it absorbs energy. See, anything you take, any person's, anything you use, there is exchange of energy. If I wear this cloth, energy goes up. Two person coming together very close, there is an exchange of energy. If the person's energy. If another person's energy is good, therefore you see na spiritual masters chappal, their cloth we take, we worship that, we don't use it. But sadhus, remnants they take. Why? For that reason. So we should be careful in not giving. Everything will come. And she will be attached now. She has gone. She'll give it to others. No, why you are giving? Just because my mother attachment. Give it up. She has gone. Leave her. Relieve her. She's also be relieved. Otherwise, oh, my daughter, oh, this is my identification. See, why we burn the body? So that body, she feels, oh, this is my body. She's trying to come. She wants to take that body so that to reciprocate. She wants that body, but the body is burned. Now the death has happened. It should go to Agni. Agni is the, like proprietorship now belongs to Agni. So Agni should be fed within 2-3 hours. As the body is dead, 2-3 hours, the fresh body should be given to Agni. And then whatever rak remains, that should be, even that person can be get attached to. So that is also thrown in the water, so it becomes mud only. It's astitva hi nahi raha. Then that person has to leave. So why to keep all such things? Even the pictures of the words of... Not at all. You're not supposed to remember with respect. We do the Shraddh. Right? So in the Shraddh, we take out the photo, we keep it, we offer the remnants to the Lord, and then we garland those to our ancestor and offer prasad.
Prabhuji, staring steadily at the tip of the nose is also necessary while we chant.
See that now we are going additional, right? Focusing on the tip of the nose and all. See, this is, if we can do, it's okay. But our focus is not on tip of the nose. See, if we go deep well into this, focus on the tip of the nose and do this and focus on that. No, our chanting focus is on what? While chanting, our focus is on hearing the holy name and speaking the holy name. Focus is that. In addition, if we try to, if it comes naturally, or if we try, initially, not to, see, point is not to divert the mind. See, if it is not tip of the hair, maybe somebody can keep the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra on the front, photo of Krishna, right? So those are the way. But if we focus directly on the tip of the nose and all, then our focus will be different. Though somebody may be doing it's not wrong, but our absorption is in Krishna. So holy name, photo of Krishna, or that mantra written, that will help us to absorb more on the chanting of the holy name, because we are chanting. Our process is that. Makes sense, na Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
But glad, at least by hearing this, we are now focusing that, okay, let's focus, do it nicely, chanting. The goal is chanting, and can we put it on the nose and whatever it takes, Prabhu, for you to focus on holy name. Chant it nicely. Yes. It's almost self-gratification. So that it comes forward. You can appreciate it and not overindulge, but not pursue desire of something. No, if it comes on, fits on accord, then Lord is just waiting. Somebody who chants, then Bhukti, Mukti, Siddhi, Kami, they are just waiting. Even the demigods will send obstacles initially. Because that person thinks that he's behind my position. So they will send sense gratification. And if we said, oh, it's coming on its own accord, from one, the people will be attracted. Clothes, for example. No, bhalana khaibe, bhalana paribe. Bhalana khaibe, it starts with tongue. That third verses, what is that? These three are in the same line. Udar upasta vegam. Vancho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. Jiva vegam, udar upasta vegam. So jiva vegam. Jiva needs enjoyment, tasting. Like for brahmachari, outer things are different. So in ashram, what we get? Nice food. Devotees will call. Mahaprasad, anytime I can go and eat. But then, and people will give also. It's a good candidate, na? लेके जाओ. Vrindavan में तो people are standing. Ah, you are doing parikrama? We want from you. Come and take, feed. So if you keep on feeding, that thing will go to them. So eating also, it's one shloka. I'll read somewhere. That shloka is there. How much one should? Huh? Yeah, our bhakti ka thing will go to them. Like if we do Vrindavan parikrama, and then there are all that sponsors giving. So if we, Bandara. Donate something. Then it's okay. We should donate. If you are hungry, you have not cooked, and so where will cook and it goes, time will go, na? So if it is coming on its own accord there, it's a seat, whatever is there. And if you are grihastha, we can offer food, means whatever Lakshmi, in that way. So yeah, there is, I'll read that shloka. How much? So it is mentioned, I don't know where the shloka is added somewhere. So eat how much? 1/2. 1/4 with water, 1/4 with air. So even if it is coming out, which rules? All this obligations and all that for the main body, right? No. Eating all. Pancho vegam, manasa, krodha vegam, jivha, udar, upastha vegam. And eating is the main. Because mouth, what is eating, and then stomach and genitals, they fall in the same line. So if we are not controlling, it's a very. And you see, when we do upas, you find that our senses are curtailed because it's not fed enough. When we feed the senses, then after senses are satisfied, and his mouth and stomach is satisfied. Now we want enjoy more. Means and to focus on bhakti after eating everything, we'll feel sleepy. Very difficult. So tapasya should never be given up. Yagya dana tapasa na tyajit. Yagya dan tapasya should never be given up. Even if it comes on its own accord, say no, better. And the more we practice, sincerely, more it will come. More it will come. What is Dan is also one of the yagya. Dravya yagya, jnana yagya, yoga yagya, swadhyaya, jnana. These are all the types of yagya. We saw in previous chapter. Shreyan dravyamayad yagya, jnana yagya parandapa. So yagya means sacrifice. Any kind of sacrifice. Even a mother and father sacrifices for their children, right? They say, no, aapke liye itna sacrifice kiya. So anything where there is a sacrifice, like tapasya. Not tapasya, the sacrifice is involved. Selflessness, doing something for others, any sacrifice. So that is yagya. It should be done for pleasing Krishna. Even if we do it for children, why we are doing it? It's my duty. So, but if we do it all, our children, it naturally we do. It naturally happens. But that is out of attachment. But understanding, no, it's my responsibility. I'm supposed to give them Krishna consciousness. So that sacrifice would be counted as see, that is the consciousness. For a devotee, he thinks this is my child. My child means under my care. So my child, but given by Krishna. So when that consciousness is given by Krishna, right? And I'm supposed to do now. I'm supposed to do my duty. So now what is my duty? To give that environment to that child, right? How this environment can be given? By myself practicing. The child is seeing, na? right? So oneself practices and then arrange the situation, environment for that child to grow. And then child does not behave as per our expectation. And if required, we may even discipline the child by raising the hand or whatever. Still, it does not happen, and something happens to the child or that the child does, and just accept Krishna's verdict. Krishna has given me such child. Whatever best I can do, I have done. And so without detachment, you see, without attachment will be natural, right? That's how we'll do it. But then understanding it's Krishna has given me. So tomorrow child does not agree to our proposal, it's okay. He will have his own karma. So we'll have to let go also. That is natural. That's not only for the child, for every living entity. And we pray to Krishna, we pray for every living entity. For our child is natural, right? For his bhakti, that's natural. But being aisa hi hona chahiye. Why you are not doing it? Angry. Why you are not doing it? He should not get angry. We should use anger. But when we'll use anger, when we are not attached. And we say, how can we not attach to a child? We are attached. But then we have to develop that consciousness that we are Krishna children. They are sent by Krishna. So when the time comes, Krishna takes away, we should accept it happily. It will be very painful. We may even cry. But being grateful to Krishna. Not otherwise, I have seen the people. Just yesterday only, we're taking one session and the very senior devotee, lost person, and was telling, it's very difficult when a partner leaves the body, which is understandable. But then the attachment, pain comes. And to the point that one asking that why Krishna does like this? Even after practicing so many years, why Krishna does like this? Why Krishna has to give pain? How can you think Krishna is giving the pain? This is the part of life. We have to leave. Everyone one day. So that shows the attachment, which is good for the partner. Attachment is good, but not to the extent that we doubt Krishna and it gives us pain. Therefore, understanding that dukkha doshanu darshanam, taking the darshan, understanding, talking that this world is painful, dukkha darshan, to talk, this world is painful. There will be happy moments which will come on its own accord, right? A small child will come and agree to our proposal. Our partner will come and hug us unexpectedly, We feel so nice. So Krishna is so grateful. We accept that happily. It's not like detached. No. Neither detachment nor to attachment. Both are harmful. Detachment is like, harsh. If you like certain thing and has come in the prasad, we relish it. Yes, I need it. Please give me more. Yeah. But are we attached to that? Is when somebody else comes and, no, Prabhu, I want it. Yeah, please take. Detached also. Neither attached nor detached. If you are getting, it's coming on its own accord. We just think, Krishna is sending, let me have. Somebody comes and says, no, Prabhu, you're not supposed to. Oh yeah, please.
But it's about Jesus Christ that when he was crucified, and he also cried out, God, why have you forsaken me? Then after some time, understanding comes and he says, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. So that immediately crying or putting, crying out is a natural thing.
Your dad's, even Prabhupada is saying, oh Krishna, why are you sending me to that horrible place? He's right in his diary. He is going, he has arranged a ticket, he even got the ticket. Now while going, he's saying, oh Krishna, I don't know what I will do. My words does not have a power. So you let me dance. I don't know why you are sending. Somebody said, why you are sending me? You are only planning to go. So that is how he's talking. He's connected with the God. Oh Lord, why this? Like, something happens. He's just like, like even fighting with Krishna is what devotee is fighting. Like with somebody whom we love, we fight also. It's not like husband wife is like loving means there's no fight. Like they also fight. Why this? It's also a sign of love. But that fight does not lead to the permanent rejection and loss. No. That fight is also, whom will you tell? If you're close, we tell that person, no, this is not this way. But then after that, again together. Reconcile and then together.
Context with the last his partner and then he was inconsolable. So that context is Christ and the first instance he cried
Denial.
Immediately after some time he got back into it.
Yes. Once that person came to know there was a cancer, immediately, how can this be? First, then opinion, second, goes to various doctor. In denial mode, no, this can't happen. Maybe let me take opinion of some other doctor. So denial mode, initially. And then acceptance mode. And everybody says, no, this has happened, now that person has to leave. Then acceptance. Then negotiation. Not acceptance, negotiate. No, maybe first stage, no, maybe second stage. Let me try. Now can I save? So negotiate. And then when still there's no chance, then that person finally accepts. And then makes peace with oneself. It's accepting. So how the stages goes. But somebody who is like, okay, it's whatever it is, Krishna's ultimate. I just do my duty. What is now to be done? What is the best thing to do? So that person slowly has to accept, na? That's what. If person has heard the philosophy, that because of attachment, that pain will be there, that denial will be there. But slowly, from good association, everybody will tell you, beta, let it go. Time has come, let it go. Right?
Prabhuji, this Vacho Vegam finds place in Nectar of Instructions authored by Srila Rupa Goswami. In the text first, it is translated as a sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demand, the action of the anger and the urges of tongue, belly and genital is qualified to make disciple all over the world.
Yes, Prithim Sashishyat. In all over the world, he can make a disciple. Yes, we'll continue. Any questions? Okay, where were we? 13 and 14. Oh my God. The revision only take time. Huh? See, that's how, no? Bhakti Shastri is like, once you have done, you again do it, you will feel new only. Huh? We have covered this, but still. Okay. So which verse we have taken? How to hold the body, 13, 14. Yeah, and then 15. What happens when we sit in that manner? So verse 15 tells, Yunjan eva sadatmanam yogi niyatamanasa santim nirvina praramam matsam gacchati. One will directly attain the happiness of the siddhis, or Prabhupada says here. So, matsam gacchati. One attains to the kingdom of God by the cessation of material existence. 15th verse. So one attains the spiritual kingdom. So Prabhupada is telling, Yunjan eva atmanam yogi niyata manasa. Niyata means control mind. So what he achieves, the ultimate goal of the practicing yoga is now clearly explained. See, Prabhupada always fixes. What is the goal mentioned here? Mat samsthan, the kingdom of God. Is to enable the cessation of all material existence. One who seeks an improvement in the health or aspires after material perfection is no yogi according to Bhagavad Gita. People who are practicing yoga, health ke liye, is not actually practicing yoga. Because the goal is what? Krishna, Paramatma, right? Nor does the cessation of material existence entails one's entering into the void, voidism. So that is. So the last line, perfection of the yoga system is the attainment of the freedom from material existence and not some material magical jugglery or gymnastic feast to be full innocent people. Because all the yoga schools are doing that. Isn't it? So Prabhupada hits and he takes such verses. Clearly mentioned. Krishna is the goal. Now, verse 16. नाति अश्नतस्तु योगो अस्ति न चैकान्तिकम् अश्नतः न चाति स्वप्नशीलस्य जाग्रतो नैव चार्जुन. So this verse, or this next two verses describes the restrictions for the person practicing yoga. So what is the restriction? Verse 16 and 17 says that there is no possibility of one becoming a yogi or Arjuna if one eats too much or eats too little. Na ati ashnataha. Ati means extra eating. Ashnataha. Na chaikantam anashnataha. Not eating less. Na chati swapna shilyasya. One who sleeps too much. No? Or stays awake too much. Jagrato naiva charjuna. So everything should be restricted, controlled. Regulation of the diet and sleep is recommended herein. 16th verse. See this verse, it talks about how much to eat and how much to not to eat. Regulation of the diet and sleep is recommended herein for the yogis. Too much eating means eating more than is required to keep the body and the soul together. There is no need for the men to eat animals because there is an ample supply of grain, vegetables, fine. Simple foodstuffs is considered to be the mode of goodness. According to Bhagavad Gita, animal food is those for the mode of ignorance. Therefore, those who indulge in animal food, drinking, smoking and eating food which is not first offered to the Krishna will suffer sinful reaction because of eating only polluted thing. Bhujante te agam papa ye pachanti atma karana. Prabhupada quotes that verse which we read already. When we only sin, if it is not offered to the Krishna or one cooks for himself. A person in Krishna conscious does not eat anything which is not first offered to Krishna. Therefore, only a Krishna conscious person can attain perfection in yoga practice. Nor can one who artificially abstains from eating, manufacturing his own process, personal process of fasting, practicing yoga. Sometimes people, they fast their own standard. Nah, we are fasting. Why? Means who recommended? No, we just took it. We are walking towards Shirdi. चल के जाएंगे. Who told you? One day I was sitting in Babulnath and somebody on that ऐसा पैर नहीं ऐसा करके घुटने के बल चल के ऊपर सीढ़ी चढ़ रहा है. इतना मेहनत क्यों कर रहा है? हाँ, लिंग है, चढ़ा पानी बैठ के, जल चढ़ा बैठ के आराम से ध्यान दे. But he was doing it and I appreciated. It's that austerity, it's a sacrifice, right? It will bear fruit. But then God will that Jain people, when we are coming in a bus, we all brahmacharis went for a yoga retreat last week, 2 days. So we are coming in the bus and there was one ambulance and then one lady she could not walk, so there was a wheelchair. And in the road, on that highway, another lady wearing that white without any chappals, she was taking that lady. And behind an ambulance was coming. बोले यार कहाँ जा रहे हैं? मैं इस तपस्या किस लिए? The Lord will be pleased by the tapasya. Of course, Lord will be pleased. But then what to achieve? Suppose if somebody tells you, that, oh, Prabhu, oh, Mata, I'm so pleased, I want to love you and all, So for that, I am doing this. I'm not eating and the food is there in front and I'm just saying I'm not eating for you. You will be pleased by that. Arey Baba, kha le. And do what I like, like talk to me, love me, eat nicely and let's talk and discuss, But no, I'll not do. See, I'm doing it for you. No, you talk to me. No, I don't have time. I'm just doing this. Huh? No. This kind is written for whom? For those who are following that process. That process. See, they are following that process. So they are abiding. So appreciating that term. I appreciate what they are doing, which I can't do. I really appreciate this kind of hard sacrifice I can't do. I could not have been sadhu if I would not have been provided nice food by ISKCON and that Shastra nicely, the purpose and all. Why should I leave? I have a nicely placed and why should I leave? For what? Here I was eating nice food, really enjoying, relishing, nice association. I said, not bad. It's better. Otherwise, tapasya and all, though, I would have really thought. Means, conviction, इतनी तपस्या क्यों करना? I've got a nice job. ठीक है, job नहीं मिला तो तपस्या करके देखते हैं कुछ मिलता है क्या उससे भी. But nicely placed, why should I do? Difficult in this age. If the age is such that all are performing and we are seeing that and it's coming natural, that's fine. But here everybody is competing, job and all. And I also competed and when we got it, so why should I leave? But bhakti yoga practices is sukha. So sukham kartum. I saw nicely dancing, enjoying, hearing katha and so much thing. It's natural. So bhakti is natural. Anybody, any age can do. And in Kali Yuga is more apt. In other yoga, these practices are possible. No austerity, because bhakti is too simple. People have 1 lakh years age in Satyuga. Their senses are very active, body supporting, environment full of oxygen. So you feel bhakti chanting. I can sit and focus for hours together. What is this 2 hours of chanting? Give me something tough. So they said, yes, stand on 1 leg, hands up. यह भी कुछ बात हुई. Tell me how many years? Yeah. Very strong. So this age is no doubt quarrel and hypocrisy, so much disturbance. But holy name, focus. Ekadashi. No, Payovrat Vrat and all these are meant for that Leela, for that person. For us, Ekadashi Vrat. Chanting. Suvrat, Ekadashi Vrat. Festival. Bhakti Janani. Such festival is a home for giving Bhakti. So this Vrat, no extra Vrat. This Vrat, that Vrat. Yeah, it's not against the Shastra. In the Shastra it is given, right? But our acharyas have not recommended as our general practice. But if some devotee practices extra, it's okay. No? It's a vrat, right? To purify a lot. It's not like, by doing this one, you get this. Just ask for what you are doing. If somebody asks you what for you are doing, and you say it is just to please Krishna. And then how do you look upon somebody who is not doing? You feel that I'm so special, they are not doing, I am doing it. That is not. So that's okay. So, where were we? Okay, not eating. Yoga, the question conscious. Yeah. He does not fast or eat. He does not fast or eat more than is required, and he is competent to perform yoga practice. One who eats more than required will dream very much while sleeping, and he must consequently sleep more than is required. You see, eat more, will sleep more also, and should not sleep more than 6 hours daily. Actually, at night, if we eat, you see, in the morning you will feel like sleepy and stomach not full, stomach not empty. You will not feel like active. But if you don't eat, you'll feel active in the morning. So, yeah, one should not sleep more than 6 hours daily. One who sleeps more than 6 hours out of 24 is certainly influenced by the mode of ignorance. A person in the mode of ignorance, lazy and prone to sleep a great deal, such a person cannot perform yoga. Suppose somebody may sleep. See, 6 is general, right? So somebody may need 5, somebody may need 7. Just a general, right? That's right. युक्ताहार विहारस्य युक्त चेतस कर्मसु युक्त स्वप्नावबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः. Who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. Yukta ahar. Yukta. Niyam. Yukta means niyam. Ahar, eating. Vihar, recreation. Yukta chestas. Yukta chestasya karmasu. So chesta. Kya chesta? Efforts, behavior, all these efforts. In what? in activities, in performing either material activity or spiritual activity. So in our activities, yukta chestaha, yukta swapna, sleeping, avabodhasya, bodha means buddhi, avabodhasya means in sleeping, yukta swapna, avabodhasya means wake up, wakefulness, because when you apply buddhi, when you are alert, you are awake, right? So avabodhasya, when you are awake, sapna, that is sleeping. Yogo bhavati dukkha. So this, when one does that, it removes the misery in this world only. Miseries goes away just by being regulated. And regulated person can practice. Extravagance in the matter of eating, sleeping, defending, and mating, which are the demands of the body, can block advancement in the practice of yoga. As far as eating is concerned, it can be regulated only when one is practiced to take and accept prasadam, that is sanctified food. As far as sleeping is concerned, a Krishna conscious person is always alert in discharge of his duties in Krishna consciousness. And therefore, any unnecessary time spent in Krishna, in sleeping, is a great loss. Avyartha kalatvam, devotees are, they do not spend any time. So, yukta chestasya akarmasya. Yukta chestasya akarmasya. So, chesta. So one's effort should be in which direction? In doing anything that will please Krishna, nothing more than that. Any activity. Somebody said, oh no, I'm working job. Yes, but is that pleasing Krishna? How is it pleasing Krishna? Just ask what I'm doing. Am I doing it nicely? If we are giving our services, we are charging somebody, right, for our services. So am I doing it nicely? So like Krishna is clean. If I'm in a non-profit organization, I'm really doing it for helping to others. Our life should be meant in giving something for others. If we can get such thing, when we do it, when we have purpose in life. See, there was a research done in Harvard University or some university. Many people were asked from different countries. What is that you feel? You'll feel happy. What will make you feel happy? So one was relationship. Socialization. We need to be part of some social gathering, right? And then in that, another point was one should have a purpose in life. If we feel some purpose in life and we are profiting to people, Amara Yogdan, like even in the temple, see, even in the temple, if we what we do, we give something, from our side, maybe in the form of knowledge, money, or work, time, in whatever way we can give, we feel worth, self-worth, that I'm worthy. Right? Therefore, anybody who comes, we should never make them feel unworthy. Even they coming here, they are helping. By participation, they are preaching. Even somebody is coming, not able to do because of their health or whatever, but they are coming, participating. That's also a big service. Because their presence makes others feel, oh my God, so many people. See, they are preaching. So that person feels worthy. Otherwise, if we just glorify somebody who is just only doing, others are sitting who are not able to, they will feel uninvolved. Isn't it? So the self-worth is always important. So as far as work is concerned, a Krishna conscious person does not do anything which is not connected with Krishna's interest. And thus, his work is always regulated and is untainted by sense gratification. Since there is no questions of sense gratification, there is no material leisure for the person in Krishna consciousness. It's a very important line. Since there is no question of sense gratification, there is no material leisure for a person in Krishna consciousness. Now, what does this leisure mean? Leisure means personal time. Chutti. Kab chutti milegi? Like in the company, we say, no? I want my time. And now, no job, no work. I will do whatever I like. So somebody in Krishna consciousness says, okay, now I want leisure. Means no bhakti, no chanting, no class hearing, no seva. I want my own time. What you will do, Prabhu? I will not take mobile and see the reels. See, leisure, means I'll do whatever I like. See, that is leisure. Means our own time, personal time. The Prabhupada is telling there is no material leisure. Since there is no question of sense gratification. He's talking of sense gratification. See, this is sense gratification. We're gratifying the sense. See, if somebody is saying, Prabhu, I don't want any service, I just want to now be myself, sit alone. Is that a sense gratification? If somebody doing a lot of services and he says, now I just want to be alone, spend time with myself, I want to sit alone. I don't want any service now, just want to be alone, spend time myself. Is that also a leisure?
That can be manan.
Manan, spending time oneself. See, it's not a sense gratification. See. Since there is no question of sense gratification, there is no material leisure. See, it's a material leisure. No? So being oneself, time spent with oneself, like being calm, quiet, so that one can energize for service again.
Yes, that's after doing all of your like chanting in the morning, doing worship, reading Bhagavad. After doing everything, just sit down and go through like reels, Instagram, and that too what spiritual reels, not material reels. Sometimes material reels also come.
It is not, see, material means somebody looks into cooking, right? Somebody looks into something for where their assets should grow, for parking and all. So that's needed for the body, right? So that they can practice nicely, right? So it's not for sense gratification; it's a need, right? So that's okay. But over indulgence in that, yeah. Over that is like time goes on.
Otherwise, just for the meaning, that's not sense. But then
Recreation, you see, recreation comes under recreation. Yukta Yukta Vihar. This is going on for a walk. Recreation, Yukta, regulated. Just feel like going, roaming around, loitering around. That's called loitering around, hanging over. What is going on? Nature, being time with nature reminds us of Krishna. Yeah. And nature also, you see, if somebody is going on the nature that seeks presence of Lord, it's nature. Feel more close to the Lord. And person will like such thing, which is connected with the Lord. Like see, on the ocean side, you can see this ocean is the Lord only. All Nadi, all the Ganga, Yamuna and all Nadis, they are coming and meeting Vishnu. It's a form of Vishnu. The trees, the hairs on the body of the Lord, the trees, the nature of the Lord. So we feel more connected to the Lord. Okay. So, verse.
Hare Krishna.
Yada niyatam. Yes?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Haribol.
Sorry. Prabhuji, just a follow-up question. After heavy day, man, or even after heavy day, woman taking care of children, family, they feel that most of the men and most of the women, devotees, non-devotees, all after a heavy day, they feel that they should have some time of their own. The word means the mentioned leisure. Yes, I always have a question that here, like, is there any place of recreation? Is there a place of recreation in spirituality? Like here, Krishna says the regulated recreation. So, what is the regulated recreation in the life of a devotee? I mean, the general people, what they do that they come home, they watch TV, they saw some reels, they play some games, they have some sex life, and they sleep. This is general public does. Now, for a devotee, there are so many no's. So, what is there for him, which is called regulated recreation, which even he goes through the same work, the whole every day for man, women, devotee Mataji, devotee Prabhuji, everyone. So what is there for him? Like how does like you brahmacharis unwind yourself, or how does the devotee supposed to unwind himself?
So this question you see, Adachi, this question is for outside people. They work all day. Then they come home, they watch TV, see the reels, they may have sex life, right? And in this way they relieve themselves, right? Now for devotee, what do you mean by recreation? You know, how they can, which can be allowed or which is not allowed, you know? So yeah, so one time, Braj Bihari Prabhu, I think he was asked this, and he said that if somebody just goes and plays, say, table tennis, a devotee, just sometime, just playing, and like so, is it against Krishna consciousness? Is it affecting your chanting? It's taking your mind away from the chanting when you sit for chanting, right? Is it breaking the principles? Is it breaking the four regulative principles? It's not, right? It's not against the scriptures. It's not breaking your four regulative principles. It's not taking you away from Krishna consciousness. So as long as it does that, it is safe. Just for recreation. So that one feels more energetic, come back with a more stronger force while practicing bhakti. Then that is said. But if somebody says, oh no, I like to practice music. I want to do the course on it. And I want to professionally develop in that. So then temple said you better go out and practice. Make your own album. If that devotee wanted to do that, now leaving aside the temple services and all, see, if he likes, he can do something and practice, and that's fine. But if he says that I want to become expert in that, and in this rag I want to sing, and then I want to make my album, is your album? What you need? You see? You see, that recreation has gone to the extra height and, wants to develop in that as a career and all. So is it pleasing to Krishna? How do we know? So devotees are telling, Baba, not needed. If you want to do some course, okay, you go for, you do something, become expert so that you can sing nicely for kirtan while doing kirtan, you can use those skills. But if that person says, no, I want to make my own album and, my own this thing, then that has diverted to my own, that personal thing. That leisure means my own time. Of course, in table tennis, playing table tennis, and what, that's also our own time. But it's not obstacle to Krishna consciousness. Huh? I mean, somebody feels, like angry and, devotees. So, dand baithak maro. Subah utke dand baithak maro. Like passion is there, no? So do more dand baithak and all. Feel healthy. Go out running. Come. Action. There were for Krishna. Isn't it? In that way. I hope I've given that point. Thank you.
In the case of false direction, Prabhupada was especially very, very he also had
Very sacrifice, whatever he gave, he mentioned. That touched Prabhupada. George Harrison, he gave his mansion. It's the time when Prabhupada needed. So any help comes on time when Prabhupada needs. So Prabhupada was pleased. And at the end he remembered, give this to George. So any service is done on time, that connection develops. That's how with devotees, when we deal, bhakti comes from what? Just please the devotees. Devotees are so merciful. That's why hanging around. Jo hachir wo vaji. Whoever is available, services will come. People say, oh, what should I do? Coming, I have no services. Come, Baba. Come, sit, chant. Some service will come. Okay, we'll move ahead. Yada viniyatam chittam atmanyevavatistate nishpriha sarva kamebhyo yukta iti uchyate tada. So when will that person accomplish yoga? So this verse says that yada viniyatam. When the yogi, by practice of yoga, disciplines his mental activities and becomes situated in transcendence, devoid of all material desires, he is said to be well established in the yoga. I will not go in detail, but this is just about, it tells about when does the person gets accomplished in the yoga. The next verse. Yatha deepo nivatasto Nengate sopama smrita yogino yata chittasya yunjato yogamatmanah. As a lamp in the windless place does not waver, so the transcendentalist whose mind is controlled remains always steady in his meditation on the transcendent self. So this verse tells about how to describe that perfected yogi. So the flame in the windless place does not flicker, but remains growing. So those knowledgeable of the yoga consider smrita, that flame, to be exactly similar. So here the comparison is given between that yogi as a flame who does not waver. His focus is on Atma. Focus is on Atma. So such is the perfected yogi. So now verse number 20 till 23, this 3.5 or 4 verses, the Lord will describe about the qualities of samadhi. The qualities of the person in samadhi. So, yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pasyanatmani tushyati sukham atyantikam yattad buddhi grahayam atindriyam Veti yatra na chaivayam stitaschalati tattvataha yam ladva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tataha yasmin stito na dukkhena gurunapi vichalayate tam vidya dukkha sanyoga yogam yoga sanginam. In the stage of perfection called trance or samadhi, one's mind is completely restrained from material mental activities by the practice of yoga. This perfection is characterized by one's ability to see the self by the pure mind and to relish and rejoice in the self. In that joyous state, one is situated in boundless transcendental happiness realized through the transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth, and upon gaining this, he thinks there is no greater gain. Being situated in such a position, one is never shaken, even in the midst of the greatest difficulty. This indeed is the actual freedom from all miseries arising from the material contact. So here the state of the consciousness of a person who is in samadhi, who is like perfectly happy and peaceful, thinks that there is nothing greater than this, is being mentioned. These 4 verses. of verse 24 and 25, it talks about the preliminary. So the verse 24 talks about the preliminary activities in the initial stage of the yoga. Dharana, dhyan, right? And the final actions are described in the verse 25. So 24, okay, 24 is there. Sanishchayena yuktavyo yogo nirvinna chetasa sankalpa prabhavan kamam vyakta sarvan asheshatah manasevendriya gramam viniyamya samantatah. One should engage oneself in the practice of yoga with a determination and faith and not be deviated from the path. One should abandon without exception all the material desires born of the mental speculation and thus control all the senses on all sides by the mind. So this verse, so one should give up the sense objects, sarvan, kaman, which are born from the desire to enjoy certain objects, which are contrary to the yoga. Along with their vasanas, asheshataha, one should completely control all the senses by the mind. We seize the fault on the sense object. So the yoga practitioner should be determined and should patiently prosecute the practice without deviation. One should be sure of the success at the end of and pursue this course with great perseverance, not becoming discouraged if there is any delay in the attainment of the success. The success is sure for the rigid practitioners. Regarding the Bhakti Yoga group, so here the preliminary stages are mentioned, that how one should be determined to practice. And in the verse 27, the final stages are mentioned. Shane Shane Uparamed Buddhya Dhriti Drihitaya Atma Samstham Mana Kritva Nakinchit Apichintaye. Gradually, step by step, one should become situated in trance by the means of the intelligence sustained by full conviction, and thus the mind should be fixed on the self alone and should think of nothing else. By the proper conviction and intelligence, one can gradually cease sense activities. This is called pratyaha. The mind being controlled by the conviction, meditation, and cessation from the senses should be situated in trance or samadhi. At that time, there is no longer any danger of becoming engaged in the material conception of life. In other words, although one is involved with the matter, as long as the material body exists, one should not think about the sense gratification. One should think of the no pleasure aside from the pleasure of the Supreme Self. This state is attained by directly practicing Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada, of course, any state of samadhi, dharana, dhyan, samadhi, Prabhupada says that if somebody is practicing Krishna consciousness, then it becomes very easy to achieve, very easy to practice. It becomes automatically. Dharana, dhyan, at once it happens. Samadhi also happens. And then pratyahar, controlling the senses, withdrawing the senses, because being engaged in the service of the Lord, all this happens automatically. Otherwise, in other practices, in this Ashtanga Yoga, one has to bring the senses, because he's focusing on mind on something. He has to bring that, and whenever it is going, he has to bring it, and then he has to focus in the service. But ultimately, that person has to bring focus on the Paramatma within. In Krishna consciousness, one serves directly the Lord in the form of Krishna, Vigra. But here, person has to think in the mind. That becomes very difficult. Yato yato nischalati manas chanchalam astiram tatas tato niyam yaitad atmani eva vasham nayet. From wherever the mind wanders due to its flickering and unsteady nature, one must certainly withdraw it and bring it back under the control of the sense. So again, it's talking about like the mind sometimes becomes disturbed by subtle or sinful tendencies of the previous lives. So you should withdraw the mind from those thoughts, and withdrawing the mind, that is niyamya. This stage is called as a pratyahar. from which object the mind approaches. The yogi should make it obedient to the Atma alone, and by reflecting on the intense happiness of realizing Atma, one should bring back. So thinking that what I will gain by focusing on the Atma, that person withdraws from whatever, wherever it is going, because this is a pleasure, wherever it is going. Withdrawing it back focuses on what is my goal. In verse number 27, Prashanta manasam yenam yoginam sukhamuttamam upayati shanta rajasam brahma bhutam akalmasham. The yogi whose mind is fixed on me verily attains the highest perfection of transcendental happiness. He is beyond the mode of passion. He realizes his qualitative identity with the Supreme and thus is freed from all reactions to the past deeds. So entering in this way, the yogi will again experience the bliss of samadhi. Brahma Bhuta is the state of being free from the material contamination and situated in the transcendental service of the Lord. Mad Bhaktim Labate Param 18.56-54 says, one cannot remain in the quality of a Brahman, the Absolute, until one's mind is fixed on the lotus feet of the Lord. Save Mana Krishna Padar Vindayo, to be always engaged in the transcendental loving service of the Lord or to remain in Krishna consciousness is to be factually liberated from the modes of passion and all material contamination, which only bhakti can bring. Yunjaneva sadatmanam yogi vigata kalmashaha sukhena brahma samsparsham atyantam sukham ashnute. Thus the self-controlled yogi constantly engaged in the yoga practice becomes free from all material contamination and achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord. So verse 21, after directly realizing...
One cannot reveal the quality of Brahman, the absolute, until the mind speaks on notice. So what is the quality of Brahman, the absolute? What is the exact?
Yeah, you see, one cannot remain even in the Brahma Bhuta, in the Brahma Jyoti for longer time, because it's our nature to reciprocate with the Lord. So a yogi, after achieving that also, there is a lacking of reciprocation. So then what happens? Again comes down, looking. Where?
Index 27. Index 27.
Just. As you are the experiences Atma. Here's 8 distinct. Prashanta manasam yenam yoginam sukham tamam upayati shantam brahma bhuta alakshanam. No. Brahma bhuta. Here it so when he says that Brahma bhutam, he then directly experiences the Atma. Brahma bhutam, he experiences the Atma along with its qualities. What are those qualities? 8 qualities of Brahma, of Atma. Which are they? The soul is sinless, deathless, ageless, without grief, without hunger, without thirst, blissful, and fulfills his wishes. These are the 8 qualities of soul. These are the 8 qualities. So Brahma here refers to that. Yes. Okay. 28. 28. So 28 verse. Yunjan evatman evam sadatmanam. So always engaging. So after the constantly experiencing Atma, when one constantly experiences the Atma, the yogi who is free of all the sins, kalmashaha, vigata kalmasha, what does he happen? What does happens to him? He easily attains the unlimited blissful bliss of experiencing the Paramatma. Sukhena Brahma samsparsham Atyantikam Sukham Ashnute. He attains the Paramatma later on. So from Atma now, where is he going? Paramatma.
Prabhuji, the goal of the yogi is to find the Paramatma within himself.
Yes,
Like
first Atma,
Vishnu.
from
Yeah,
there Paramatma.
Paramatma. But in the verse 20, it is written, achieve the highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service to the Lord. And you said he obtained Shantaras, right? Uh, he attains, and then how it loving service of the
Yeah,
Lord.
yeah. See, Prabhupada translates it as a bhakti yogi's goal. A bhakti yogi, highest stage of perfect happiness in transcendental loving service of the Lord. See, Prabhupada talks about a yogi is a bhakti yogi. In the sense, for a bhakti yogi, what is the highest? Is it Paramatma realization? No. It is the transcendental service of the Lord. Right? So Prabhupada says here, he achieves the highest stage of perfect happiness in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. Right? But now, Ashtang Yogi we are talking about. The flow is about Ashtang Yogi. Right? So if you see that the flow, it is after realizing the Atma, then one focuses on Paramatma. One realizes that. Right? So Prabhupada, he talks about, see, self-realization means knowing one's constitutional position in relation to the Supreme. Right? That is self-realization. For a Ashtanga Yogi, it is about knowing Atma and then Paramatma. After knowing Paramatma, does he stop there? He does not stop there. He then has to go towards Krishna realization. After many, many births, a Jnani will come to know about that Vasudev Sarvaiti, it's all Vasudeva. So that happens in a progressive way. But when it comes to the devotee, it immediately happens. He comes to know about the position of a Krishna, what is his constitutional position in the with connection with the Krishna, that he is the servant of the Krishna. So therefore, Prabhupada mentions this. Directly, the self-realization means knowing one's constitutional position in relation to Krishna, Supreme. The individual soul is a part and parcel of the Supreme, and his position is to render service to the Lord. This transcendental contact with the Supreme is called Brahma Samsparsha. So that is how Prabhupada translates it. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, but it is also na he reached Vaikuntha where he gets Shantaras. You
Oh, no, no,
mentioned.
no. See, why I am talking this? Because you see now, next verse will make clear, that how it is Paramatma. And then why I am talking about Paramatma, because later on this yogi will see in everybody the Lord, and in Lord everyone. So now how will you what is that aspect of Lord you find in everyone? It's a Paramatma. Na? So I'm just connecting these verses so that you know that we are talking about this yogi who's focusing on Atma, realizes Paramatma, and then he sees in everybody the Lord is there in everyone. He sees that. You see that verse 29 will follow that.
Yes,
So you'll
Prabhu.
connect to that.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Yeah. And Prabhupada, why he says that? So that as a devotees, for us, we need to understand our connection with the Lord as we are being the servant of the Lord. That's how we see our relation with the Lord. Right? But a yogi sees in the form of a Paramatma. That's, yeah. So please repeat after me, the 29th verse. Sarvabhutastham Atmanam Sarvabhutani Chatmani Ikshate Yoga Yuktatma Sarvatra Samadarshana. A true yogi observes me all beings and also sees every being in me. Indeed, the self-realized person sees me, the same Supreme Lord, everywhere. So this is referring to the Paramatma aspect of the Lord, right? So here, a yogi in a perfect samadhi realizes that Paramatma is indweller of all living entity, the resting place of all living entity, and is equal to all. That's how this verse says. And I will not go in detail. You please read the translation. Yeah, that we have read, na? Yeah. So verse 30. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mahi pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sacha me na pranashyati. For one who sees me everywhere and sees everything in me, I am never lost, nor is he ever lost to me. So expanding on the previous verse, this verse then explains the result of one who can see in the way it is described. Right? So we'll stop here. We have covered 30, 15, 17 more to go. We'll cover that next week. I'll send you a question bank of the questions. So you have 2 weeks. So next week is last session. After that, we'll have exams, short answer, long answer question. And there also I will give you a choice. Okay, you can solve.
Prabhuji, we need one more week for preparation as
Yes,
it is
just like also
difficult.
I will give you few verses, and in that also choice. Okay? Yes. Yeah.
Verses with translation.
Yes. Right? So tomorrow I'll send you
Tomorrow is
question bank. Right? And in that also I will, from that I will give you the choices. Solve any. Yes. Huh? Next to next week. Next week we will finish the syllabus. Then after that we will have exam. Yes. 100 marks. Yes. Okay. All the best. See you. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Jai
Krishna,
Shri
Prabhuji,
Bhagavad.
Danda Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Who is this?
Arohi.
Ah,
Arohi.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat
Hari
Pranam.
Bol.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.